And our first main topic today is sent in to us from, that's not the right one. There we go. It's sent in to us from Curtis Lopez, who writes, "Yo, John, some of us know Millie Bobby Brown will play Enola Holmes in a movie about Sherlock's younger sister. But we now learn that Superman himself, Henry Cavill, will be playing Sherlock Holmes in Enola. I'm never going to pronounce that right, by the way. Enola Holmes. Are you excited to see Superman share scenes with 11? And what do you think about Cavill playing Holmes?" All right, thanks a lot for the question, man. And for those of you who weren't sure about this or didn't know about this before, exactly as they laid it out there, there is this movie coming out with Millie Bobby Brown that's going to be going into production soon about Sherlock Holmes' younger sister, and it's based on a series of novels that they've done. Now, here's the story specifically about the whole thing. It's this. Superman actor, and this is from Dark Horizons, Superman actor Henry Cavill is set to take on the role of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's famed fictional sleuth Sherlock Holmes in Enola Holmes for Legendary Pictures. The film is an adaptation of Nancy Springer's Edgar Award-nominated Enola Holmes Mysteries novel series, which spans multiple installments and follows on Sherlock and Mycroft Holmes' teenage sister, Enola, as she strikes out as a capable detective. Stranger Things actress Millie Bobby Brown will play Enola, while Helena Bonham Carter came on board earlier today in the role of Enola's mother. So they are putting a stacked cast together. They're putting together a really good-looking cast here. And look, side note to keep in mind, there is still whispers going around that Henry Cavill could very well may end up being our next James Bond. Remember, he was the runner-up to play Bond when the role eventually went to Daniel Craig. It was Henry Cavill was the runner-up for that. We could be talking about here in a couple years about Henry Cavill, the man who played Superman, Sherlock Holmes, and James Bond. That would be sick. And you know what? I'm all for it. I have loved Henry Cavill as an actor ever since I first came across him in The Tudors, the television series that I'm sure a lot of you probably haven't seen, but he was fabulous in that. I have loved him as Superman. He is, I know it's sacrilegious to say, he is my all-time favorite Superman. Yes, even more than Christopher Reeve. And that's all due respect to Christopher Reeve's Superman, absolutely, but I love Henry Cavill in this role. I think he's a marvelous actor. He was great in that Mission Impossible movie. He's got range. He's got talent. He's been pegged as a can't-miss prospect by a lot of people in this business long before you and I ever heard his name, and I love seeing him as this kind of success. I don't know what I think, Erin, about the notion of a mystery movie about Sherlock Holmes' younger sister. I don't know how I feel about that overall. I certainly like Millie Bobby Brown. I love the casting in this. Once I see the first trailer, I'll gauge my own thing on this, right. But I love the fact that Henry's going to be this, even if it's not the lead character. And don't forget, we've got a big Netflix series coming with Henry Cavill in The Witcher. The Witcher's coming. Everybody's buzzing about that. But anyway, Erin, you hear about this. Number one, what do you just think about Henry Cavill in general? Because I don't think you and I have ever really talked about him. And then what do you think about him taking on a role like this as Sherlock Holmes?
Okay, I have a very specific point of view in this, and I'm sorry, I don't support it. I'm not.
Really?
I don't. And here's why. I was a big fan of the Benedict Cumberbatch series, Sherlock Holmes, and even Elementary to a certain degree, on CBS,
right.
Like a very watered down version of it, but it's still a very good show as far as procedurals go. I kind of don't want my Sherlock Holmes to be hot. And it's not about he can't be attractive, but I feel like Henry Cavill, even though, yes, I've seen all the things for the new series that he has coming up, and he really does a good job of trying to make himself unattractive. And it's not about being an unattractive Sherlock Holmes. It's about Henry Cavill is hot. But it was the same reason why I didn't want to see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, because I was like, she's a bikini model. I was wrong. She totally proved me wrong. I am now a big fan. And so I'm hoping that Henry Cavill proves me wrong, but I kind of see him like, I don't understand how someone who's so traffic stoppingly attractive would be able to be a detective. Like, you got to kind of be able to skirt in between the scenes. And so I'm not really excited about it. I kind of want someone that has a little bit more flavor.
There's a little bit more flavor. It's kind of like Seagal juice. But I, counted in the archives of phrases never used about me, traffic stoppingly attractive. That's a great phrase. I got to use that more often.
I'm going to get you a T-shirt that says traffic stoppingly attractive.
That's great. I mean, that's an interesting point of view. I've never really thought about it that way, about how the character. Now, of course, we've also seen Robert Downey Jr. play Sherlock Holmes, but
Robert Downey Jr. is not hot. He's not hot.
Okay.
There's a huge difference between being attractive and being hot. You know, like Pamela Anderson on Baywatch was hot.
Right.
Helen Mirren is attractive. But
Right.
when Helen Mirren was a young theater actress, she was very hot.
I've never thought
I don't
of it
want to
in-
be hot. I want to be attractive. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like attractive is much more interesting than hot. So I really hope that Henry Cavill spends some time out in the sun, wrinkles a lot, maybe drinks a lot, does some drugs, just really, gets his face all, gets himself uglied up a little bit.
This segment, Hollywood advice from actress Erin Cummings, ladies and
Just
gentlemen.
drink, smoke a lot of cigarettes, and do some drugs.
And
Then you'll be interesting.
perfect for the role. Well, listen, guys, what do you think about all this? I mean, do you like the idea of a Henry Cavill in the role? Do you not? Do you think it adds some more attention to it? Do you think maybe it lessens your enjoyment of it or lessens your anticipation of it? Jump down in the comment section below and let me know what you think. All right.